Mitt Romney. It may be too late if the last debate is focused on foreign policy. However, there are two pieces of advice that I really hope that you take into account. Two major things that I think will help you play more towards the center and to say what independents need to hear. These are reasons why I'm voting for you. I'm not a hardcore social conservative, but I believe we need to make a change. Two big issues. One, bipartisanship. The Bowles-Simpson Commission, Obama's own deficit commission, put out their tax plan, and yours is largely mirrored on theirs. You may not adhere to every single aspect of their plan, but on the large scale, lowering the rates, decreasing the complexity in the code, eliminating or capping, as you say, some of the credits and deductions. Decreasing the complexity is a job engine in its own right. And also, I think you need to point out situations like how Obama's main jobs advisor, the GE CEO, works or leads a company that farms the tax code, and this is harmful to the United States enterprise as a whole. This company, who has armies of lobbyists, armies of lawyers, armies of accountants, spends all the money on avoiding taxes, when if we had lower taxes and if we gutted some of this complexity and some of the loopholes, this is really what the Bowles-Simpson Commission, and I believe that your tax plan is about, they would not need to hire thousands and thousands of lobbyists and accountants. I think you need to hit this hard and to say, that you are willing to work in a bipartisan fashion on this, that the huge majority of economists support this goal, that Obama's adherence to the status quo and arguing over Bush tax cuts is frittering around the edges. We need more fundamental reform. That brings me to the second point. The status quo on the deficit, the status quo on Medicare, on Social Security, these are unsustainable right now. So you've put forward programs. Paul Ryan has actually led the House to take some hard votes on this. And instead of being denigrated, they deserve credit for actually putting forward a credible alternative. Obama's budget for the past 2 years has not garnered a single vote, a single independent, a single Republican, a single Democrat in the House or the Senate. His budget cannot get a single vote. He's not offering any viable plans, and he hasn't offered any viable plans the past 2 years, and certainly for the next 4 years he has no better suggestions. You need to point out that while you are offering some hard but necessary changes, the status quo, which Obama is de facto supporting by not offering anything viable, is not an option. It's not acceptable. And the people that are going on Medicare, you did hint at this on the first one. If you're over 55 under your plans, you wouldn't have anything to worry about. I think you need to hit people. I don't want to scare you, but listen, the status quo, things are not going to go as... if we keep things the way that they are right now, benefits will be in jeopardy in the next 10 years. These are things that Americans need to hear, and that Obama has not presented any sort of viable option, and he needs to be judged on his record of failure, of abject failure in this. And that is an advantage that you have over him by actually presenting something that is hard but credible. I hope you will take some of this advice. It's coming late, but I think these are things that would resonate with independent voters that are at least, thinking about the big things. To reach people who care mostly about assault rifles, and if you think that's the biggest issue in American politics in 2012, then you're maybe lost to either party. But Romney, I think you're leaving a bunch on the table when you don't hammer Obama on these big issues.